This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV Profit.
Has India become an important luxury market for global luxury brands? Absolutely yes. You only have to look around yourself to find India's recently acquired taste for luxury. The well-heeled global traveler has been buying the best, experiencing top-end luxury for years as India emerged as an economy to reckon with. Now we have luxury at our doorsteps with malls dedicated for the best in global brands, destination spas and hotels, and now even branded luxury living in homes. Today we have with us an interesting panel to dissect India's luxury market and its changing face. Let's welcome Vidur Bharadwaj, Director of the 3C Company, Mr. Hart, President Hotel Operations Asia Pacific Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts, and Shatrujit Tikka, Louis Vuitton. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in. I think the big news peg is the launch of Delhi One, Four Seasons and 3Cs have come together. So Vidur, let me start by asking you, it was a bold step to take. Private residences, do you think there's appetite for it?
I think it was the obvious step to take. Really speaking, today in Delhi, we see large joint homes breaking up into nuclear families, and people are used to bungalows and luxury living. Right? Mm-hmm. So no better luxury living than the Four Seasons Hotel and the private residences. So it is not a bold but an obvious step to take, really, for us.
What do you feel, Chris? You think India is ready for it? It's the buying power, the money power, all of it is here?
I think so. I think we're really excited about India, and residential is an important part of our business.
This is your first residential project?
First residential in India, but probably 74% of our new hotels in development have a residential component.
Okay.
So it gives you the opportunity to stay for a night or stay for the rest of your life with Four Seasons.
Well, Shatrujit, I think you'll be able to explain to us what's really going on. You know, we've just believed that Indians love over-the-top sort of luxury. They want to flash it. It's the new money. You know, all of that is coming together, and then you have a very elegant, classy brand coming to the market. How much of an appetite is there for that bit?
For us, it's very important, and we are delighted to welcome Four Seasons Residences and Four Seasons Retail into India, especially North India. This is where the action is in North India. This is where the money is. This is where the big spenders are. And we need many more such developments for luxury to really bloom in India. So for us, this is really great news.
So elaborate a little bit more. When you say North India, I really want to know who's buying luxury.
I think North India has a very discerning clientele. It's new money. It's, I won't say it's flashy, but it's very generous. We like gifting. I
like that term, generous.
We like gifting. We like to be entertained. We like new things. We like to discover. We have far more, we have an appetite to spend much more than I think South India today. There's a lot of development taking place in North India, and what was lacking is quality retail, quality residences, quality development with brand names. And I think Four Seasons really completes that circle for us.
Okay. Vidur, you know, there's a little bit of disconnect in terms of, you know, the design elements which I've seen, as much as I've seen of Four Seasons. There's a lot of elegance in it. It's clean, it's simple, it's not what we Indians have grown up culturally with. We've grown up with the ornate and the opulent. You think you can get all those big fat purses to open up for the Four Seasons kind of design and luxury?
I think there are two things happening in the world. Four Seasons is changing, right? The way they look at luxury, the way they understand luxury for emerging markets, and at the same time, Indians are changing too. Indians are far well traveled than most people in the world today. They're aware of what's happening world over, they accept it, they embrace it, and I think they want it. And that's what we are doing at Delhi One in collaboration with Four Seasons. We partnered with Four Seasons, and that's what Delhi One is all about. It's understated luxury, which I think the new generation of Indians are going to embrace and love. And I honestly feel the reaction, the feedback I've got from people, this is refreshingly different. Indians are still have an old culture of the Raj, 200 years of the Raj. I think it's time for India to grow up, to accept the new India.
Chris, how would you place India vis-a-vis, let's say, there's Asia seems to have become such an important region for a global luxury brand like yours to reckon with. In fact, perhaps, so just, if you were to place India vis-a-vis your expectations from this market compared to a China or a Korea, what would those be? How different would they be?
Well, India is very important to us. We've been looking to be here for a long time. Today we only have one hotel in Mumbai, but we're going to grow. We have a lot of growth in Asia in general, particularly in China. We just opened 4 hotels in the last 12 months in China. But
4 hotels
in the last 12 months. But these hotels take many, many years in development. So you're going to see Four Seasons continue to grow in India. This is a very important market for us.
Bangalore is where you're going as well,
Bangalore is
right?
under construction as well as Delhi One. But Vidur and Four Seasons, we've been talking for some time to get to this point today. So, I think what Four Seasons branded residences offer is assurance of mind for the purchaser, for the discerning purchaser who wants residential. It gives them an opportunity to know that Four Seasons is going to be there for service, not just the design style, but we're there for the long term to provide a high level of service, which creates great value, I think, for the purchaser and a great service lifestyle.
Describe the service aspect to me, because when you look at luxury, they really introduced us to a lot of great products, but when it comes to hospitality, India clearly has a lot of hospitality luxury of its own. So what will set you apart?
Well, I think always what set us apart has been our people. Even though we hire in each country, I think the discerning edge about when you come to a Four Seasons, whether it's in Paris, London, New York, it's the people that make the difference and the service that makes the difference. So we try to be there when you need us and not there when you need us. So we try to anticipate the guests' needs before they know what they need. And so we try to do that in the residential setting as well. So, we can take care as much or as little. I mean, there's basic services that come for all the residences, from gardening and pool maintenance and concierge, and we can walk your dog or cook the food, and housekeeping services. So there's a basic menu of services that come to all the residence owners, and then they can choose for more services if they wish.
Services, as you said, is key. I mean, for the luxury business, service is key. Right training, right access to human resource, and providing the right service. If Four Seasons is successful in doing all that, it becomes a magnet, it becomes a destination. I think that's the idea, to create a destination for residences and also for luxury retail. So we are seriously looking at the retail format which they're setting up too, and which will also provide us an opportunity to showcase our brands, but also provide an experience which is lacking today in India because of poor quality infrastructure.
Elaborate a little bit on that. So you do have now dedicated mall spaces to display some of the best global brands, but you don't think they're enough?
In India today, I think there's just one mall, which is Emporio, and which is saturated. There's no space. And the growth opportunities in North India, particularly Delhi, are enormous. So we are very keen to capitalize on the growth in Delhi and look at other opportunities where we can establish a representation of Louis Vuitton. So for us, it's very important that these developments are world-class, and can complement the development at Emporio.
And this really is not a mall development with the hotel. It's part of a large complex. So it's large picture, right? The scale of this mall is a little bit larger than the Emporio in terms of space and volume. And as far as luxury is concerned, I want to come back to that question. From an end user point of view, a person who stayed at Four Seasons for the last many years, it's about experiencing the experience, really speaking. If at 3 in the morning, right, and you're jet lagged, you come back and you want a pizza, Four Seasons would never say no. They might not have the pizza on the menu, but they'll turn you around and give you options which are as good. So honestly speaking, it's about experiencing Four Seasons.
I like this support.
Yeah.
No, that's what it was. That's why we went with you, Chris.
Listen, so I think, Chris, pardon me for being skeptical, but this, even for your current hotels, let's say your Mumbai hotel,
Yes.
how much of the clientele is Indian, and how much, and I'm asking you a question that how much of it comes from India and how much of it comes globally. The power of your brand is pretty much that you can bring in the global client. But for, let's say, something like private residences that you're opening,
sure.
you know, of course the hotel business apart, you're expecting the buyer to be largely Indian, right, Vidur?
Yes.
So
And that's
is
the
that
same-
something that
that's
a
the
little bit you think about, or you're just leaving that to Vidur to take care of?
Not at all. They've been very kind.
But we are always partnering with local expertise. Wherever we operate, we rely on great partners such as 3C to give us the expertise locally. So, you know, we are a management company. So we are partnering with great real estate developers globally. But wherever we operate, whether it's Paris, London, New York, Milan, we need to be successful in that marketplace, catering to the Parisians or the New Yorkers, wherever we have residences, or even for our food and beverage offerings, we need to be successfully locally being relevant in that marketplace.
So explain locally relevant. Do you imbibe the local culture? Because Four Seasons, as I can see it from your website, prides itself on having an experience which is extremely global. How much are you open to, let's say, changing a little bit?
Very much. I mean, the one thing that's consistent is a high level of service, great people, anticipating your needs. But we, like all companies, we continually have to evolve to meet the needs of our customers and to understand whether it's the Chinese customers, the Indian traveler, and we're not just interested in being in India for the Indian customer within India.
Yeah.
We're also interested in the Indian traveler, right? That is staying with us in Delhi. We want them, when they go on vacation, we want them to love Four Seasons here, have a great experience, have confidence in the brand, and choose to come with us to Paris, London, New York, Beijing, Tokyo.
Shatrujit, what's your experience been with Louis Vuitton? I mean, you know, when you talk about especially luxury products, a lot of design elements for you are global. In fact, everybody started loving it. We've almost forgotten that where the brand originated from, right? For Louis Vuitton. So how much do you actually localize in your design? Do you think there's room to localize? Is there a thought within Louis Vuitton that as we go forward and become more and more global, we will have a little bit of element, whether it's design or it's service or it's experience, which will be country specific?
No, I don't think we will go that way. Vuitton is an international brand, so they'll try and get the best inspiration from wherever they can get. You know, I think India, of course, has tremendous heritage with luxury. Vuitton's best clients were Indian. The Maharajas were the ultimate clients who propelled Louis Vuitton to the status symbol. And but you know, for design, Louis Vuitton, brands like Louis Vuitton look at having best access to the best possible resources. And if it happens to be India, why not? They will look at it. But there's no program to localize things as such, you know.
So tell me, I mean, what I hear that luxury is consumed hugely by tier 2 town customers and clients as well. There's a lot of money tucked away there and hidden there. It's not just the Delhi and the Mumbaikars or the very well-heeled global traveler who's buying it. How do you sell to them? Is it different? I mean, is that face changing quite rapidly or slowly?
Again, the problem is that we can't set up a retail opportunity there. There just isn't infrastructure. So we, of course, know who they are.
So
we
they come to Delhi and buy?
They come to Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore to buy.
Honestly speaking, you know, the location is the best key part of this whole development.
It's very close to Delhi as
actually
well.
not inside Noida, it's not inside Delhi, it's the skin of Delhi. In fact, when we wanted to sign it, Chris and his team evaluated it and they said this is the best part. Because in Delhi, where do you construct in 12.5 acres of land, multi-use? It's just the land doesn't exist.
Exactly.
So this was a great opportunity in a great spot to put a multi-level development together. Like a mixed land use, there ain't one in this part of the country. At least I haven't seen one.
All right, so we'll come back and chat a little bit more about bringing the mountain to Muhammad. That's what it is, bringing Four Seasons to the Noida and the NCR client. You're watching this very special episode on the changing face of India's luxury client and clientele. The changing face of luxury in India, which doesn't just stop at buying a top-end watch or own a branded handbag. Luxury for India is now becoming about experience and a collective consciousness amongst the well-traveled, the rich and the young, and perhaps that's why Four Seasons and Three Seas have come together to launch the first set of luxury private residences in NCR, along with NCR's first Four Seasons hotel as well. I'm in conversation with Vidur, Bharadwaj, Chirs, Hart and Shatrujit, Tikka. So Vidur, I'm going to come back to you and ask you that big question. It's a large project. I mean, it's not a small one. It's a mixed-use development with a hotel, with private residences. So just, how do you enmesh luxury and office space? How do you bring these two together?
Well, it's a large piece of land, almost 12.5 acres. It's got various entry and exits. So really the offices, which are about 2 million square feet, have a separate access, security, etc. The residents in the hotel are in a different part of it, but at the same time they're intermingled to give synergy to what they are all about. But at the same time, when we talk about luxury in terms of space and size, we've been pretty careful how we place these residences, where we place it, the size of these residences. So all of them kind of form together, mesh together to be Delhi One.
Okay, Chris, elaborate a little bit on size. Maybe it's the British heritage of always the rich living or the palaces of space being at a premium. In India, opulence means a lot of space.
Right.
So are you going to look at making these residences larger than what globally you have been doing? Or globally also Four Seasons residences have been have been large?
I think what we try to do is look at each market separately, individually. So when we partnered with 3C, we collaborated together very carefully about the size of the units here. So here actually they're probably larger.
They are larger.
They're larger. They're beautiful.
Indians love space. They are so spacious.
You have to understand, this is not Mumbai, right? So if I'm going to be leaving a house in Defence Colony or New Friends Colony and going to live in a private residence, into in an apartment,
Right.
I'm not going to compromise on space. I need my family lounge, I need my guest room, I need the room for the kids, I need space. So if I'm going to do that, right, I might as well buy space. No better space to buy in the world than Four Seasons. So really speaking, each of these residences is 7,500 square feet in size.
7,500.
Right, with a small plunge pool in each residence, fully furnished, great ceiling heights, 4 bedrooms, family lounge, everything. It's got the works. 2 staff quarters as well, because so we acclimatize how Indians live.
I was just coming to that. We're so used to having staff waiting for us.
So we have 2 staff quarters with each residence, right? Whilst Four Seasons is going to service us and as and when basis, but for day to day, we need some help, it's already there.
Even in Mumbai, Four Seasons, one selling point has been that they have the largest rooms in Mumbai, in that part, isn't it? So space always is a premium in this country.
I think
maybe because we have 1.2 billion people jostling for space.
I expect this here, you're looking at beautiful residences, 4 bedrooms with a place to have staff, family. But again, in terms of hotel rooms, I don't think you want to. Size isn't everything.
Right.
Design is very important, and there comes a certain place where a well-designed room is more important than having an extra 25 square meters.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
but again, each market in Hong Kong, we have serviced apartments. again, with retail, with office.
And that model works well, Chris, internationally, when you bring together retail and office space and a hotel and private residences.
It can create a great dynamic environment.
It does? Okay.
It changed the center of Hong Kong. You know, your development just shifted the center of Hong Kong from the landmark straight to this.
So one important question that I need to understand from you, Vidur, and this is like a hardcore customer expectation question. Luxury also takes inordinate amount of time to get delivered in this country. Is this, do you have a timeline for when you want to finish this project?
So you have to understand that now we are launching these residences now. Typically, developers start launching and start selling the moment they buy land.
Right.
This land was procured 3 years back. We have 4 basements down and 7 floors up already in the construction. So we are pretty sure that we're going to deliver this in the next 3 years. So once all the permissions are in place, contracts are in place, L&T are doing the contract, we are 7 floors up from the ground, that's when we're launching it. So we want to be sure what we are delivering, when we are delivering, and to the quality we want it all to be delivered to.
All right, so 3 years is what your expectations are from the launch date.
Yes, right. And we're already under construction, like we're on the 7th floor.
3 designs, London, Manhattan,
and Carmel.
Each very different.
All right, so there are 3 themes?
3 themes.
Okay.
3 international themes based on London, which is where we come from for 200 years, like I always say, Manhattan, where we want to go, and Carmel, where we want to retire. So all the 3 themes.
Wow, that's an interesting way to look at it. All right, so a final word from you, Chris. How would you, or what would you say, your message to convince, let's say, someone who's residing in a Jorbagh or a Amrita Shergill Marg and compel him to come and take a look at one of the Four Seasons residences and say, this is what I want to buy?
If you're looking to buy the best, if you're looking for quality, if you're looking for a company that's been committed to service at the top end for 50 years, come take a look. This is a quality development that has great amenities, unbelievable retail, in a great location, in the capital of India.
And it also
Come take a look.
It also has a lot of prestige value, which everybody in India does.
And honestly speaking, if you're staying at Amrita Shergill Marg and you want the Four Seasons chef to come and make sushi for dinner for 6 people, you can't have it.
You can't have it. All right. On that note, I think we're going to wrap up this discussion with Chris Hart, Vidur, Bharadwaj, and Shatrujit Tikka. It's been a really, really interesting discussion on India's love affair with luxury. Well, it seems it's just begun, hasn't it? It's not too deep-rooted. What do you think? Where are we at the stage of evolving in luxury?
The very beginning of romance.
Very beginning of the romance. So the country does seem well poised for a happy future with the best of the global brands already at our doorsteps. All we need now is for India to get back to that smashing growth trajectory. The higher a nation's GDP and per capita income, the higher is its hunger for all that's beautiful and luxurious. So with fingers crossed, I'm signing off. Goodbye and thanks very much for watching this special episode on the changing face of luxury in India.